is Nakota. Happy as a Clam is in the white colors, racing in mid-pack. Into the far turn, Spanish Cara has been there throughout, left alone on the front end, tries to expand now, almost 3 lengths in front of Ghostess in second. Another 2.5 back to Day Dawning in third, down at the rail, Miss Hot and Cold. Happy as a Clam is fifth, 7 lengths off the lead with a 1/4 mile to go. Spanish Cara, Ghostess trying her best to close the gap at the 8th pole, 2 lengths back to Day Dawning, who swings to the center of the course as Ghostess is up to take the lead, has to deal with Day Dawning, who's closing resolutely on the far outside. Happy as a Clam. Here's Day Dawning now going to the front late. Day Dawning scores by a length. Ghostess a good second. Holly Go Quigley finished nicely, and then Happy as a Clam. Eleven draws in, 25 minutes to the start of the late pick 4. Early pick 5 today, $9,770.15. And they're off. Nephili is out very alertly, but with plenty of company in the early stages. A Rider's Trick is a tiny bit quicker, and Elegant Bella is up and on the pace too. Roman Bronze is fourth, 3.5 or so off the lead. Followed by Tenacious Candy, who's moving up on the far outside. Lucky Sermon comes through at the rail, just 2 lengths off the pace. A big gap to the 3 trailers. Smiling Rapper, Thirsty Nick is second to last, and Sweet Rider at the back of the field. Into the far turn, Nephili pressed by a Rider's Trick to the 3/8 pole. 2 more lengths, Lucky Sermon in the thick of it third. Down at the rail, Roman Bronze trying to get into it with Tenacious Candy alongside. Elegant Bella is dropping back, followed by Smiling Rapper. They have a 1/4 mile to go. Nephili, a Rider's Trick, head and head the whole way. Just behind them, Lucky Sermon comes down toward the rail, and they are followed by Roman Bronze. There's a furlong left to go, and Nephili clinging to a narrow advantage. A very game Lucky Sermon grinding away steadily at the rail. Nephili, Lucky Sermon takes over close to home, and it's Lucky Sermon to win it 3/4 of a length. Second went to Nephili. Then it was Smiling Rapper third. Roman Bronze took fourth. One more. Sea Dog to the outside. They're in the gate. And they're off. Sea Dog was out very quickly. So is Warren's World showing speed. Happy Does hustled into contention. And Nameless is in the firing line through the opening stages. Wine and Whiskey is down at the rail, 5 lengths off the lead. He's followed by Chief Jackson in the green colors, racing in mid-pack on the inside of Beskar, who has 7 to make up while wide. The 2 trailers, Rich Gold and Mischief's Thirsty, is at the back of the field. Around the first turn, and Warren's World shows the way. Leads it by 3/4 of a length. Sea Dog is pressing from second. Happy Does, Blue Cap, a joint third, racing outside Nameless with Wine and Whiskey down at the rail, 3 lengths off the lead, heading toward the half-mile pole. Beskar is next, racing in company with Chief Jackson. That entire group covered by less than 4.5 lengths. It's 2 more back to Rich Gold. Mischief's Thirsty is next as they head past the half-mile pole, where it's Warren's World, who's been there every step of the way. Sea Dog in second. Happy Does third most of the journey, coming to the 3/8 pole. Nameless is in between horses. Fourth, Called On Now is the heavy favorite, has 3 lengths to make up while saving ground. Wine and Whiskey is losing touch down at the rail. Chief Jackson is racing in between horses. From the back of the field, Rich Gold trying to mount a bid as they reach the top of the stretch. Sea Dog is the new leader. Nameless just angling out now, has got a clear shot and is coming after this front runner with a furlong left to go. Juan Hernandez and Nameless hit the front. front inside the 8th pole. Open up 2 on Happy Does. It's Nameless. Happy Does. These two are dominating. Happy birthday, Juan Hernandez. He'll get to the winner's circle and pose for pictures aboard Nameless, who scores easily. Happy Does second. Sea Dog third. Rich Gold from well out of it completes the superfecta. And they're off. Ma Ray's Girl is hustled hard from the inside and sprints up to take the lead right away. Royal Charter is up close in the early going, as is Vita Lara, who's currently second as they run down the hill. Vibes is fourth, 4 lengths off the lead, followed by Cliquish. Venganza is next, 2 clear of Safa, and then it's a big gap to Control Function, who's already 15 lengths off this leader, Ma Ray's Girl, who goes down past the half-mile pole, leading the way. A length and a half back to Vita Lara in second, and Royal Charter is tucked in the thick of it right there in third. Then Vibes fourth, inching forward, only 3 lengths off the lead. They're followed by Venganza. Safa angled to the outside with a 1/4 mile to go, and Vita Lara is right up to Ma Ray's Girl and takes the lead. Those two in close quarters. In the center of the course, Venganza is starting to come with big, powerful strides, and Venganza storms up to take the lead inside the 16th pole. Safa with a late run on the outside, moving into second, but Venganza outclasses them. Safa a solid second. Photo for third between Vibes and Control Function. Elwood Blues, the last one to load. And they're off. Moose Mitchell out alertly. Elwood Blues is flashing speed. Slider is coming through along the inside. And Bartoldi is in the mix. But it is Slider who's faster than all and up to take the lead from Elwood Blues. Bartoldi moves up in between those two. Then Moose Mitchell outside See Through It. And Mission Beach is 5 lengths off the lead coming to the half-mile pole, where Slider establishes a clear-cut advantage. Opens it up now to 2.5 lengths on Bartoldi with Elwood Blues third. Then See Through It, Moose Mitchell fifth, now 6 off the lead. Mission Beach inside of that pair, 3 furlongs to run, and Slider to catch, bounding along, doing it comfortably thus far. Bartoldi set down second, as is the case with Elwood Blues, inching up a closer third, has 3 lengths to make up with a 1/4 mile to go. See Through It is next, followed by Moose Mitchell. Elwood Blues makes a wide bid after Slider at the top of the stretch. Bartoldi is in between them. See Through It has 4 to make up. Elwood Blues takes the lead. See Through It grinding away on the outside, trying to get to Elwood Blues, who has a length and a half advantage. Bartoldi fights on down at the rail. Elwood Blues or See Through It. See Through It's coming at him now. See Through It and Elwood Blues. It is extremely close between those two. Behind them, it was Bartoldi and Mission Beach on the scene late. They're in the gate. And they're off. Maximus is very quick away from the gate, opens up 2. Targarius comes away in good order second. They're joined at the rail by Avotra Sante in third. Then comes It's a Factor fourth, followed by Tiger Strength on the outside of Checks on the Way, who's in between rivals, 6 lengths off the lead. The 2 trailers, Valentine's Candy and Escape Plan, is at the back. Less than a half mile to go, and Maximus, the clear-cut leader. Targarius moving in from second. Three more. Avotrasante on the inside of Checks on the Way. Checks on the Way now takes third. It's a Factor. Has to get closer and is doing so. Fifth as Targarius is the new leader. They're followed by Tiger Strength. A quarter of a mile to go. And Targarius quickly puts away Maximus. Comes for home with a 3-length lead. Checks on the Way is chasing him from second. They're followed by It's a Factor in third inside the 8th pole. And it is Targarius' tenuous lead, a length and a half. Checks on the Way is trying to grind him down. Followed by It's a Factor. Checks on the Way on the outside. And Checks on the Way. Simon Callahan gets his birthday wish. Scores by a length and a half. Targarius tried to hold second. It's a Factor was on the scene. Fourth between Valentine's Candy and Avotrasante.
Our seminar guest today is living life. You want proof? Well, first of all, his business had its best career yet ever last year. Secondly, he personally qualified for the National Handicapping Championship next week in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Horseshoe Hotel and Casino. And one of his children was nominated for a Golden Globe Award. How could he not be smiling at all that good news? His name, Billy Koch. Billy, happy Saturday. Welcome to the seminar.
TK, it's always a pleasure to be here.
It's great to be here.
And that was a great introduction. I had forgotten about the NHC stuff.
And no cue cards.
We don't need cue cards.
No, but if you ever watch
we don't need those stinking badges.
If you ever watch real TV, they've got cue cards that's all lined up for them.
No, you're a pro. This is my fifth time doing this, maybe fifth time.
Yeah.
You get better. And
I hope so.
And you get better looking. How is that possible?
Fountain of youth. Speaking of good looking, what about your son?
Oh, man.
Let's show a picture of him. Let's cue up the picture of good old handsome Cooper there.
Yeah.
When we get a minute. But he was nominated for a Golden Globe Award. He's on Netflix. There he is.
Yep.
Looks exactly like you.
I wish I looked like him. And I wish I had his body. And I wish I had his talent. No, he's a great kid. And we're really proud of him. And he did a great job in this show. And hopefully it'll lead to more offers and more experience. But the whole experience of doing that, and I didn't go to the Golden Globes. We were there at the start of it when he was getting dressed. And it was really fun. It was really exciting. And as a parent, all you want is for your kids to succeed, and
have a better life than you.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Well, they're already having a better life than me. Trust me.
Hard to say after that intro that I just spiel. Let's talk about your business, Billy. Of course, you're the founder and the managing partner of Little Red Feather. You guys had a career year last year. I can read some of the stats. You had 36 wins. You had $3.4 million in earnings. You only had 179 starts. You were basically the horse of the year at Del Mar. Ice Cream, You Scream.
Yeah.
Sold a piece of her for a good chunk of money as well to our friend
we did.
Agave Racing.
We love you, Mark.
We do.
Yeah, it's really a tribute to the horses, number one, our partners, number two. They really are the engine. And then just great people, trainers, Phil D'Amato and others. And I'm just so fortunate, and I'm blessed, and I give credit to a lot of people. I think to be successful in life, you need to surround yourself with people who are smarter and better and harder working than you. And I think I've done a pretty good job of that. I have a really, really great team. We have a great team. And really going back to the partners, there is no Little Red Feather if you don't have people who believe in you, who support you. And not every horse is going to be Ice Cream, You Scream, or Conclude, or Ironman Cal, or Thought Pro. It's not going to happen. So the ones who have been there a really long time, shout out to all of you. Thank you. And really, it's made my life. So I give them all the credit.
Speaking of hard working, the news broke earlier this week, Billy, that Trevor Denman is hanging it up. That's a big loss or a big void here in Southern California. But of course, your buddy Larry Colness will be filling in those big shoes for him. I brought that up only because we've been talking about Ice Cream, You Scream. Of course, you won the Del Mar Oaks. So let's kind of rewind the clocks and listen to Trevor Denman describe the action when Ice Cream, You Scream won the Del Mar Oaks this past August down at Del Mar.
And way
Field sent on their way. Looked like a very even break. On the inside, Ice Cream, You Scream came out well and is up there with the leading group. Not in a hurry to go on with it, though. Whiskey Decision is right there, and Sea Dancer comes to join them on the outside. Racing in behind that is Zona Verde, the grey. Up alongside is Madaro. Only 3 lengths separates all those runners. Secura Blossom in the blue towards the rear. Then Circle of Trust, and Bushu is last. Tightly grouped now as they head to the 3/4 pole. Ice Cream, You Scream, going to make her own pace out here. Not in a big hurry, though. Leads it by 1 length. In the second spot, we have Whiskey Decision traveling nicely. Down at the rails, Zona Verde. Between runners comes Madaro. Only 3 lengths off them. Sea Dancer on the far side. They followed by Circle of Trust, and at the back is Bushu. They run to the half mile, and now Umberto Rispoli decides they're going too slow, and he kicks on with it. Whiskey Decision gets the lead and opens up. Whiskey Decision goes on almost 2 lengths now. Ice Cream, You Scream in second. Zona Verde coming through down at the rail. Madaro in the purple, 5 off them. Secura Blossom is on the far side, then Circle of Trust. And outside of that, we have Bushu. They coming past the 3/8 pole, and Whiskey Decision leads it. Now here comes Ice Cream, You Scream back at her. Ice Cream, You Scream has come right back at Whiskey Decision, and in fact has gone on by. On the outside, Madaro is running a big one too. They are homeward bound. Ice Cream, You Scream now gets the lead. Madaro on the outside running a big one. Inside of that, Zona Verde. They come for home. I Scream, You Scream, hanging on tenaciously. Medoro can't get her. I Scream, You Scream, and Hector Berrios have won it. Second place will go.
Billy, I'm sure that never gets old to watch. How the HE did we get 3-1 on I Scream, You Scream that day?
Oh, you know, the Philly Rispoli was on, got a lot of action.
Yeah,
she
6-5.
Yeah, she was pretty fast on sheets going in, and I think that's how this filly was doing so great going into that race. We were really confident. Mark Martinez stepped up, paid I think based on $1 million for a third of her, and then
sure.
He won. I mean, that was brilliant. I mean, it was great for our partners. And that's why you want to make deals like that, TK, that everyone wins. And that was a perfect situation. It was just a perfect storm. And we gave her a little break after the race here at Santa Anita, and she should be coming back soon and ready for the summer and do it all over again. We're
going to see if Billy can find any more 3-1 shots on today's 11-race card. We're going to find out who he likes for all 11 races. But before we do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the early changes on today's Saturday's card here at the Great Race Place.
Good morning and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the Great Race Place. The track is fast, the turf is firm, rail on the turf at 0 feet. Here are the early changes. In the first, scratch number 2, every day is Saturday. Race 1, scratch number 2. In the second, scratch number 4, Someone Like You. No changes in the third. In the fourth race, we have blinker notes. Race 5 offers a middle pick 4 and the all-turf pick 3 on races 5, 9, and 11. Number 7, Sparkles Sweetly, 2 pounds over. The $2 pick 6 starts with race 6 as we welcome Huntington Group and Thrivent Day at the Races. Number 2, Rose of Jericho, 1 pound over. 6, Morning Addiction. The jockey is Seraphine Carmona. And the corrected weight is a 5-pound bug of 117 pounds. Race 7, first leg of the late pick 5. Blinker note. The 8th is the B. Wayne Hughes Beholder Mile, which is presented by FanDuel TV. No changes in the 8th. The 9th is the San Simeon Down the Hill, scratch 2, Gaslight Dancer. The late pick 3 starts with the 9th. In the 10th, scratch number 4, Tranche. Late double is offered on races 10 and 11. It's a $5 bet. And the 11th has super high 5 wagering. Scratch 1, Lonesome Stew. Scratch 3, Piper's Causeway. Scratch 5, Sir Rocket. Scratch 9, LM Looking for Mischief. Scratch number 11, Where's the Loot? Scratch number 12, Halo Uncle. And note that the 13 will run. So in the 11th, scratch 1, 3, 5, 9, 11, and 12. On Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, we offer the Coast to Coast Pick 5 with a low 15% takeout. It starts in a little more than 2 hours with Gulfstream's 8th. Great wagering opportunity every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the Coast to Coast Pick 5. Enjoy your day at the Great Race Place. Post time for the opener is in 57 minutes at 12 noon. At this time, we go back to Quigley's Corner. Tom's special guest today is Billy Koch of Little Red Feather Racing.
Welcome back. We're talking horse with Billy Koch. He's the founder and the managing partner of Little Red Feather. The partnership has a horse in race number 1 today, which we'll get to. But it begs the question, Billy. We talked about you going to Las Vegas for the NHC. Do you have your travel itinerary planned out? I mean, do you know when you're getting into town? Are you going to any nightclubs? What are you doing?
No, I'm going to Ocala, Florida for the 2-year-old sale.
Which is when?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I fly to Vegas on Thursday night.
So basically, you're dead money. You're telling me you're dead money. You got no shot?
I would not play me. No,
no future odds?
I would say I'm like 1,000 to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I have some time on the airplane. So
You've never qualified before.
I've never done this before.
Really,
everybody who goes
it's
says
a unique
it's really
experience.
fun. Yeah,
it is.
Really fun to be there. And the funny thing is, we have a bunch of horses running next Friday. So I wonder if there'll be mandatory races, which means I have to use another race. I don't know how the rules work.
Correct.
TK.
Correct.
I like the Breeders' Cup stuff where it's
The
like the
BCBC.
BCBC.
Tremendous.
I'm not as into the $2 win place bets, but it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
The good news is if you bomb out, you're in Las Vegas, Nevada, right? I mean, there's certainly plenty of distractions for you to kind of get involved with.
I've never been to Vegas before.
Somehow I don't believe that. Your nose is growing. Let's take a look at today's 11 race card, Billy. Kicking things off in race number 1, which of course begins the popular 50-cent early pick 5. We're on the turf course for race 1. The turf rails today are at 0 feet. Mile and an eighth is the distance for $25,000 claimers, non-winners of 2 races lifetime. Scratch the 2 every day is Saturday, leaves us with a field of 7. Your runner on Ready to Rumble was 9-5 on the tote board, but now is the 6-5 current favorite. Andy Mathis first off the claim. Looks like on paper that your horse would like this extra distance.
Yeah, he ran good 2 starts back when he went this distance. I don't think
last time wasn't a bad performance either.
No, and listen, I don't think he's going to be 6-5. I think ultimately the Baltus horse, Dealer Special, is going to be the favorite. He's faster on numbers. He also has a massive pace edge in here. There's not a lot of speed in here, and the race he comes out of with El Rey Rey and Navajo Warrior, they both came back to win. I'm a big believer in the key race angle,
Me too.
I'm going to obviously pick our horse on top. I hope he gets a great trip. I hope he's not too far back. That's what we'll tell Hector today. He's ridden him before, he knows the horse well, and if he gets a good trip, he'll be right there. I think it's a 2-horse race.
Billy, I want to go behind the ropes just for a moment about and Ready to Rumble. What prompted you guys to claim this horse? In other words, do you get together, kind of look at the PPs? Just tell us kind of like what goes on behind the scenes when you're getting ready to claim a horse.
I work really closely with another gentleman named Ben Posen, who is he runs Hopeless Stables. If you've ever seen his name,
Sure.
Ben is a brilliant guy, and we basically go through every single claiming race at Santa Anita on days before. And Del Mar, sure. But I'm just saying for now, and then when we try to find horses, we use the sheets. We use Thurgraph primarily. We also use Ragozin. And then we try to, what you do as an owner is you try to get into the mind of that owner. Like, why are they running here?
Sure.
Are they giving up on this horse? Is this just the right spot for this horse? And then you always, when you claim, you want to have kind of a plan. So the second he lost the other day, for example, this horse, we put him right back in the same race, and just say, hey, we're going to try to get a win. If no one takes him today, maybe he moves up the ladder. You have all the starter conditions. And that's the other thing. You want options. When you race, when you make a claim, you have to have a plan, win and lose. You lose the race, you run poorly. Okay, I can go here. You win the race, you have to look at what you can see. Sometimes the best claims are the ones that lose the day you claim them. So we look at really everything. We do a lot of analysis, and I enjoy it.
Fair enough. Let's take a look at race number 2. Billy begins the 50-cent early pick 4. This time we're sprinting on the main track. 6.5 furlongs of the distance for fillies and mares. It's a starter optional claiming race. Scratch the 4. Leaves us with a field of 5. Coastal Cowgirl, impressive in breaking her maiden, is the 8-5 morning line favorite. What say you about race 2, Billy?
Yeah, interestingly enough, you have 2 horses in the 2 and the 3. One ran by 15 lengths and one won by 17 lengths.
You don't see that every day,
You
do
do
you?
not see that at all. So I went against both of them,
Wow.
trying to be a genius. I went to the rail filly with Vladimir Serin running super, Edwin Maldonado. Sometimes I like when they break from the rail with Maldonado and they have speed.
Takes the thinking right out of it, right?
It just lets them go,
Sure.
right? So I kind of like that angle. I figure Coastal Cowgirl is really going to get hammered based on that huge performance. But that was for maiden 20, and I think class is a big thing. Running super actually broke her maiden in a much tougher race. So even though she wasn't as impressive, and if you look down the road of running super, I mean, they had a pretty high hopes for this filly. They ran against Hope Road and won Magic Filly in her first start. That was obviously a very key race. Now, it was a long time ago, but I kind of wanted a price here because I think Coastal Cowgirl is going to get hammered.
You mentioned you go to Ocala tomorrow to participate in the sale, and I'm just looking through the pedigrees of some of these runners. Run Happy, Sir Brancelot, who's a Calbred, also Mucho Macho Man is a sire of Blue Fashion. When you go down to Ocala, do you already have a short list, or once you get down there, then do you just start develop the short list?
We have a gentleman by the name of John Dowd down there right now, part of our team, and he's sitting there watching every single horse breeze, and then he will go through the barn area. He'll create a short list, go through the barn area, pick out horses, and he knows what kind of horses we like and we can afford. I think it's really important that you go down there with a budget and say, this is kind of our range. We're not going to be buying $800,000 Curlins. It's just not going to happen. It's just not part of our strategy. I would love to, but it's not going to happen. So we always look for a horse that has, for Ice Cream is a great example. We bought her for, I think, $165,000 and she's by Twirling Candy. What is Twirling Candy? Well, Twirling Candy gets horses on the dirt, gets horses on the turf, long, short. So you kind of want some pedigree, especially here in Southern California, where you don't always want to face Baffert and Sadler and all these guys on the dirt. That we do well on the grass, and Phil D'Amato does pretty well on the grass too. So we always look for something maybe with a little turf pedigree as well.
Let's take a look at race number 3. This time we are sprinting 6.5 furlongs in the flat turf course. This race is for $30,000 claimers, non-winners of 3 races lifetime. Field of 7. Our friend George Hicker has the morning line favorite, number 6, Special Flower.
I didn't know that was George Hicker. He does the handshake.
Does he? Ask him. I know him as brother.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
I didn't pick Special Flower. Now I feel bad. I'm sorry, George. I didn't even see your name, or I would have picked it. I went with Richie Baltas and Abadanza because I didn't want.
You didn't want to offend them.
I didn't want Bing to be mad at me. No, I think this horse is pretty consistent.
You're talking about Gem Mine.
Yeah, Gem Mine, and if you notice, even in the first race, Richie's being real aggressive right now. And Richie obviously is an excellent trainer. He knows what he's doing. He's being aggressive, and I just think the class drop for this filly is going to get the job done. I took a little long shot second, and that's the one, September Magic. Obviously, Rispoli's riding great right now. I have respect for Ryan Hansen, and this filly's also dropping. I like horses in this where they've given the horse plenty of chances and say, you know what, let's try to find their friends. Let's try to win a race. So that's why I went in that direction.
And the 2-year-olds are knocking on the door too. Sometimes you need to open up a little bit of barn space.
You said that, I didn't.
Race number 4, we're sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track. It's a maiden optional claiming race for 3-year-old fillies. We've got a field of 7. The first-time starter, number 5, Sexy from the Mark Glatt barn, is 3-1 on the Maury line. This is a tough race to decipher simply because there's a lot of question marks. Who you like and why?
I went with Happy Sue. She's 2-1 on the morning line, and I liked her last couple of races, showing speed the way she did. I like in these races to have a little experience, but obviously you have to respect Mark Ladd. I put him second, and Fresu and Saints and Sinners and Seahawk Racing. Those are friends of mine. I didn't even look at, to be honest, I didn't look at the workout reports, so I did not. I don't know if you have any special tips for us.
National Turf, which is Andy Harrington, like Sexy's workouts coming into this race, the debut first-time starter.
So there you go. And she's by Mackenzie.
Correct.
And Mackenzie's red hot. We have a really good Mackenzie filly named Mancuso, who ran second first time out to Baffert's filly, who won the Grade 1. And she's coming back. She'll be back this spring. So I'm excited about her. I think Mackenzie, excellent sire.
Little Red Feather, always loaded for bear as we continue through the 2025 season. Race number 5 begins both the 50-cent middle pick 4, which is offered on any race card with 10 races or more, as well as the $3 all-turf pick 3 with a reduced 15% takeout. And we kick off both wagers in race number 5, going 1 mile on the turf course for fillies and mares. $25,000 claimers, non-winners of 2 races lifetime. The favorite drawn outside. Your buddy Phil D'Amato trains number 9. Step It Out, 9-5 on the Maury line. Give us your thoughts.
It was too easy to just pick Phil. It was too easy. And I've never, this is one of those fillies of Phil's. I've seen her a lot, and I don't love her. Emily, my sister, wants to single in the pick 5 today. So she's probably going to single this horse. You can't go wrong with Phil and Rispoli. The numbers are there.
Who's the sharper handicapper? Should I have her on the seminar going forward?
She is probably better
She's
than
doing all the heavy lifting over there?
She does. I like to take big shots. So
right.
That's
going to help you in the NHC if you take big shots.
I like to take big shots, but I also like to do singles and bet larger amounts.
She's the voice of reason.
She's a spreader. Yeah. So I went with the 1. I just took a shot. Ran well at this condition last time.
Back in 8 days.
Back in 8 days. I don't mind that. Stretching out, gets the rail, saves ground. I thought it was kind of a wide open race, and I just took a shot there.
You going to claim in race 5? Anything catch your eye?
I did not. I am not claiming in race 5.
Ben didn't give you any thumbs up?
I promise you that.
No. Race number 6 begins the $2 pick 6. Yesterday, 1 winning ticket in the pick 6 paid slightly less than $40,000. $5,000. Congratulations to that skilled ticket holder. And we kick things off in today's Pick 6 Fresh, going 6 furlongs on the main track in race 6. It's a starter optional claiming race for restricted fillies and mares. These are primarily runners who have been running up in Northern California. Number 6, Morning Addiction, make the jockey Seraphin Carmona. Morning line favorite, one of 3 in here, trained by Isidra Tamayo. Number 4, Brookie's Gal, 2-1 on the morning line. These are always a bit of head scratchers because we don't know.
We don't know these horses. But we don't really know the tendencies. These horses a lot of them ran against each other. I remember Brookie's Gal a long time ago used to run down here. In fact, I think I put in a claim for her probably maybe a year ago or something like that. Maybe when she was 3 or I don't know. But I went with Twilight Empire. She just won. She's 8. She's 5 for 19 lifetime. She gets the outside post. Kyle Frey just ridden her twice in a row. She just beat these. Why not let her do it again? And I went with the inside filly second, that Harney Lane, because she was second. It's that same theory I have last time. Speed on the rail. Sometimes this track, you know how this track plays. You get out in front, and especially with horses that maybe aren't as classy, they can get loose. So I thought that filly at 5-1 was a good value.
Fair enough. Let's take a look at race number 7. Billy begins the 50-cent late pick 5. We're sprinting 5.5 furlongs on the main track for maiden claiming 3-year-olds in for a $32,000 tag. Morning line favorite, number 4, Lead Pipe Joe from the Luis Mendez bar, 9-5 on the morning line. I like cleverly named horses. Wouldn't you like to know the inside scoop of how Lead Pipe Joe got his name?
Do you know?
I don't know, but I'd like to know.
I would love
to put the simulcast team on, on assignment, right?
How does this horse get named? I mean, we have General Jackson, Code Break. We got good names in here for sure, Tommy. I did go with Lead Pipe Joe. I've seen Mendez do this before, and I think this horse comes out of really strong maiden races. It's an owner breeder that owns the horse, so it's he's probably in the right spot today, and maybe they don't have to shove him so hard to make the lead when you're not running against horses like Sansaba and Tis Secure. This is a much, much lesser bunch. I expect this horse to wire this group, and it was hard for me to find other. Code Breaker obviously ran really well in his first start. He'll move up. Dean Peterson is off to a really, really good start. Dean knows what he's doing, so I think this might be a little chalky, this race.
Race number 8 is the first of 2 feature races on today's card. It's the Grade 1 B. Wayne Hughes Beholder Mile, presented by FanDuel TVG. It's a $300,000 purse for fillies and mares going 1 mile on the main track. It also begins the 50-cent late pick 4. We've got a couple of invaders in here, one from the Tom Amos barn, also another one from the Brad Cox barn. Field of 6, but the morning line favorite, the undefeated number 3 Cavallari from the Bob Baffert barn, 9-5 on the morning line. Don't you wish you owned one of these fillies?
I do. That's the whole race. That's all we're going to talk about is that I'm jealous. Well, Cavallari, let's look at something, Tom. 900,000, 510,000. Oh, there's $100,000 purchase ultimate.
That's
authority.
That's one in your ballpark.
Yes. I would like, yes. But those guys do a really good job, the Amistoys, and very, very nice people. I've had them on my podcast, actually. They came on the podcast. Oh, the Owner's Box.
Right. You and one of our friends here at San Anita, Michelle Yu.
She's the best. We have a lot of fun. If you aren't out there, we do have a podcast. It's really fun. It's called The Owner's Box.
Once a week?
Yeah, we do it once a week and have a lot of fun. We bring on owners. I always thought, they always say, like, this is Tim Yachteen's ultimate authority. I'm like, no, it's not.
Correct.
It's the Amistoys, trained by Tim Yachteen. So I kind of wanted to do something where the owners had a voice. And we've had so many great owners on our show. There's archives. You ever want to hear anything about how they got started, what really drew them to the game, their favorite stories, their favorite horses? It's fun. We have a lot of fun.
Don't steal my thunder. I want some of those owners on this show too.
We'll bring them on.
Okay,
we can do a dual thing.
Referrals are always welcome. A lot of people say no when I invite them on this show.
Really?
And nobody
Who
even
says
watches.
No.
I won't
Emily's
name
dying to be on the show.
I'm going to get her since I know she's the handicapper now.
I mean, she's like begging to be on. But this race is interesting. I think this is. Listen, is this the greatest Grade 1 of all time? No.
But it's a good betting race.
It's a really good race.
Yeah.
And obviously the money's going to go for Cavallari and Ricci. And it's Bob Baffert. It's dirt. It's a Grade 1. It's at Santa Anita. Okay. I went just completely opposite direction. I'll take the Brad Cox coming in. The guy's having another smashing year. He gets the old Hall of Famer Mike Smith aboard. Money Mike loves these kind of races. I was really high on this horse last year, and I think I probably bet her in I bet her with Torpedo Anna in the Kentucky Oaks. She was the horse I was scared of. Didn't run well that that day.
But she
has
ran
come back
well in the cotillion.
Yes, she did, and has come back, and I just think she might be better than these. So I took Tarifa. I think you might even get a little more than 3-1. I thought a long shot was Ultimate Authority. I thought her race here at Santa Anita over this track was really impressive. She earned a 6.5 Ragozin that day, and that's one of the fastest numbers, if not the fastest number in this race. So I thought, what if she ran on for second with all the speed?
Our seminar guest, Billy Koch, chucking both of the Bob Baffer runners in the Beholder Mile.
Bye-bye, Bob.
Beat
He'll probably win one.
Are you and Bob friends?
I love Bob.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are competitors on the racetrack, but I mean, off the racetrack.
Listen, Bob has done so much for this industry, and I respect him. I think he is the absolute best judge of talent when he goes to the sales, whether it's yearling sales or 2-year-old sales. There is nobody better than him, and he's done a great job with his business, and he knows what he's good at. He stays in his lane, and he's the best. Like, you can't compete with him. Why do you think we buy turf horses?
Trust the process, right? In other words, he's got a process. Jimmy Barnes has been with him forever.
It's unbelievable.
They know what they're doing.
I still can't believe Barnes lost that race.
Last week in the San Felipe.
I mean,
Well, what's it say about journalism and the training job Michael McCarthy did?
Awesome.
Incredible. Coming off a mid-December layoff.
Incredible. I thought when they turned for home, I thought Barnes was going to win by 5 lengths.
Yep.
That was incredible.
Hit the proverbial wall. Race number 9.
I don't think he hit the wall.
No?
I think the other horse was just better.
Okay.
Sometimes you got to give the other horse
like
credit.
a 107 Beyer speed figure. I mean, he was moving right along.
Exactly.
Fair enough. Let's take a look at that. Okay, you can get on your soapbox. That's what this is all about.
I know. Michelle calls me Soapbox Billy.
I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Race number 9 is our second feature race on today's card. It's the Grade 3 San Simeon coming down the hillside turf course. It also begins the $3 late pick 3 with a reduced 15% takeout. Scratch the 2 leaves us with a field of 7. Number 8, Mucho del Oro, who had a brutal trip down at Gulfstream Park on Pegasus World Cup Day.
Brutal.
The 9-5 Maury Lane favorite.
I love this horse today.
I watched that replay.
I bet him. I bet him that day.
My apology.
Yeah, I bet him that day, and I was dying
fault of the
whole
jockey.
race. No. Just had a brutal trip.
Yeah.
He gets outside down the hill. He's 7 for 12 at the distance.
Won this race last year.
This is one of my favorite horses on the day. I really like this horse. I've always been a fan of this horse. I put Charge for Gold second just because of his speed, and I know that he's won twice down the hill, so he might not be as good. But I just figured you got to get a price somewhere, and I originally had Gaslight Dancer, but he scratched, so I put the 1 in second, but I really like Mucho del Oro.
I do too. Race number 10 begins the $5 late daily double, also with a reduced 15% takeout. You're part of the TOC, Billy, right? You're kind of involved in some of these new wagers.
I'm not part of it, but yeah.
Well, whatever. I mean, you're part of the industry.
I'm karma.
Okay, well, still, you have a voice in a lot of different decisions that are made, and you've got to agree these new wagers with the reduced takeout, the numbers have been fantastic.
But they should do more.
I agree with you. The coast to coast pick 5, the late pick 3, the daily double. They should do more, but they're doing very well.
A bet is a bet, right? And there's always going to be takeout or VIG or whatever you want to call it, right? And people are going to say, well, how do we attract new people to the sport? Well, make it more cost effective. It's kind of it's a no-brainer. So of course these races are doing well. I mean, these pick. When we threw out the pick 5 and it was low takeout pick 5
over at Hollywood Park.
That was the whole key, and it took off like gangbusters. So more of this, and you're going to have more people betting on your product.
I agree, Bill.
Period.
Very, very well put. Race number 10, as I mentioned, begins that $5 late daily double. Scratch the 4, leaves us with a field of 7. Number 7, Eagles Flight, third lifetime start from the John Sadler barn, is the 9-5 Maury Lane favorite. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Billy, courtesy of our friends at FirstTV.com, let's watch a morning workout for Eagles Flight. This would have been the most recent workout on March 2nd, just basically about a week ago or so. And Eagles Flight, you're going to see, I know you haven't seen this video, Billy,
I have not.
Eagles Flight right now is just working in company with the old 9, but you're going to see a bevy of runners kind of join in on the far turn. There's 3 other runners, and that kind of really peaks up Eagles Flight attention because he is super competitive. Of course, he's the half brother to Flightline, so there's big expectations for him.
Never heard of Flightline.
No, me neither. But this was kind of unplanned, right? I mean, you kind of plan your morning workout.
It happens when you're out there. There's so many horses. This looks like it's probably at 6:30 in the morning.
But
and
look how quick Eagles Flight responds, right? Now all of a sudden he doesn't have to just be one workmate. He's got 3 others down on the inside. He takes the overland route.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like lights out, right? The exercise rider doesn't even move.
You don't know the plan for those other horses. You don't know when they jumped in. Obviously, this horse is talented. No one's doubting that.
And I like the competitiveness as well.
I think what you have to decide, though, is he has problems.
Of
May,
course.
January.
They were pointing to the Malibu. They couldn't make that.
Yeah, and when you have a horse like that, with all due respect, I'm a huge supporter of Hronis Racing. I love Stephanie and I love Costa, but you're going to get a real short price. And this is one of the horses that I'd like to try to beat.
Spoken like a true gambler.
Yeah, absolutely.
No disrespect to the connections, but
no disrespect. I think this horse is really nice. And by the way, if he wins, I won't be surprised.
as my friends like to say, sympathy is for suckers.
There you go.
Right? We're not here to.
I went right outside. I know Santorena just broke his maiden. I think they've always liked this horse. In fact, he ran against Eagles Flight. He was 2-1 against him when Eagles Flight debuted that day. And I just think this horse is third coming off the layoff, was really impressive last time. Gets Freysu back aboard. I think the mile should be no problem for this horse.
And
I think we'll get a nice
kind
trip.
of like what we were talking about in sprint races with the inside post. The outside post where the horse has speed is similar.
It's fine
because you got to go.
You
don't
go
want to be caught
and you
wide.
get over and you
take
save
all
some
the
ground
thinking right out of it.
exactly, and you kind of don't get the dirt out of his face. And I just don't think there's a lot in this race.
And first time long for Santorena.
I like it. I like Santorena.
Are you bold enough to try and beat Eagles Flight in the exact, or who'd you lay second?
Yeah, no, I put none above the law second. This is another one of those hard knockers. 7 for 40 lifetime. He's run some races, numbers wise, that can certainly handle this crew. He has all the experience. Obviously he's 7. He's the first time in for a tag. He got to get claimed back in February of 24. So he's back in for 50 after running in all the Calbred stakes. He dances every dance, and on his best day he can be tough. And I was just looking to get a little price in there.
We close out the card in race number 11, offering $1 super high 5 wagering. We're sprinting 6 furlongs on the turf course for Calbred, allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than, and number of scratches in this race. Take out the following runners: 1, 3, 5, 9, 11, 12. 1, 3, 5, 9, 11, 12 will not compete. That means the also eligible number 13 Hotbox does draw into the race. The morning line favorite likely to be number 10 Double Jab from the Andy Mathis barn.
You think?
Yeah, well,
Lonesome Stew is going to be the favorite.
Lonesome Stew scratch.
Oh, he scratched?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Come on, stay with me.
Did you just say that?
I did. It's good to know you don't listen to me, but that's okay. So Lonesome Stew scratch, was he your top selection?
Yeah,
Right,
I was in that race when he won by 8.5. We ran second. I was like, oh my God, look at this horse. No, and Final Storm is going to run next weekend, and he's doing really well. So I was like, I thought Lonesome Stew was a lot. I'm going to go with I'll go Uncle Chili. I'm going to go with my man Pipey and Sluggo. You love those guys. I love those guys. This horse broke his maiden really impressively last time. Takes that first step up, switches to the grass. Uncle Chili for me. Was it named after our friend Chili, the cameraman?
It could be. I don't know.
I like that we're getting into names today.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to find out who Uncle Chili is.
It's part of the fun of ownership, right, Billy? naming horses.
It really is. Right? No, it's fun. I thought about it this morning because we're going to the 2-year-old sales, but we like to have fun. I just named. We have this really nice upstart colt that's down in Florida right now. We named him Follow Up, which I kind of like. I think that sounds like a good horse. Like we're gonna be talking about him one day. Right. Yeah, we named a he's collected out of out of Rose of Cairo. He's a colt, and he's Sands of Time.
Beautiful.
I like that. Sounds like a champion. Good horses have good names, period.
The winner of the Kentucky Derby always has a good name, right? They put it up there in part of the paddock, and I mean, you never see some crazy name like
like Mystic Dan.
It's always fun.
Like Rich Strike.
Yeah.
Come on.
Or Orb. Where'd that come from?
I don't know.
Billy, it's always fun having you on the seminar. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. Have fun in Ocala. Find some nice horses down there. More importantly, bring home the cheese from Las Vegas. I'd love nothing more than to interview you after you won the championship of the NHC.
You're going to be my first interview.
It'd make your great life even greater.
When I win.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. One more reminder before we go. That's the aforementioned $1 coast-to-coast pick 5. Make sure you get involved. You can see low 15% takeout, $1 minimum. We've got 2 races from Santa Anita, 3 from Gulfstream Park. Kicking things off with Gulfstream Park, race number 8, 1:21 p.m. Pacific time. One more reminder. Make sure you set your clocks ahead 1 more hour. Now, we've got cell phones and fancy gadgets.
I never know how this works. Just say it again.
Spring forward, fall back.
So when is that happening?
Tonight at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Tonight, so I have a flight tomorrow.
So you better move your clock.
Wait, it's going from 2 to 3 or from 2 to 1?
No,
so when it's 2, it's really 3.
Correct. So don't miss
my
your
flight's at 11.
It'll be like 10 a.m.
It'll be like 10 a.m. Okay.
Exactly.
I don't know why. I thought Trump was getting rid of that.
Yeah, he moves fast, but he can't move that fast. Make sure you move your clocks ahead. And one of the reasons why is because we've got another 11 races tomorrow beginning at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time. Until then, have a great afternoon of racing and wish you nothing but the best of luck. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, where the track is fast and the turf course is firm. Track conditions are brought to you by John Deere. Here are the program changes. In the first, scratch number 2, every day is Saturday. The first race starts the early pick 5. In race 2, scratch number 4, someone like you. Pick 4 wagering offered on the second. Turning to the third, there are no program changes. In the fourth race, we have blinker notes. Race 5 offers a middle pick 4. There's middle pick 4 wagering offered starting on race number 5. Number 7, Sparkles Sweetly, 2 pounds over. All turf pick 3 also begins with the 5th. The 6th begins the pick 6. 2, Rose of Jericho, 1 pound over. 6, Morning Addiction. The corrected weight should read 117 with Serafin Carmona taking over as jockey. In the 7th, started the late pick 5. No scratches or jockey changes. The 8th race, the B. Wayne Hughes Beholder Mile, presented by FanDuel, is a Grade 1 event, no changes. In the 9th, scratch 2, Gaslight Dancer. Pick 3 starts with the San Simeon. 10th race, scratch number 4, Tranche. Late double is offered. And in the 11th, super high 5 wagering offered. Scratch 1, Lonesome Stew. Scratch 3, Piper's Causeway. Scratch number 5, Sir Rocket. Scratch 9, LM Looking for Mischief. Scratch 11, Where's the Loot? And scratch number 12, Halo Uncle. The 13 draws in. Scratch 1, 3, 5, 9, 11, and 12. Enjoy your day at Santa Anita Park. They'll be at the gate for the first in 26 minutes at 12 noon.
Be a smarter better with First TV, the best horses. With thousands of exclusive morning workouts. All